Welcome to another Goody Reader comparison video. My name is Michael.
This is Peter.
And today we're going to check out the Apple iPad 3 against the Apple iPad 1. Primarily, we're going to look at the app and gaming experience. And we're only going to look at games that Apple has released updates for high definition. So the first thing that we're going to do is a solar walk. And this is mainly an astronomy type of application. So on the count of three, we're going to launch it. 1, 2, 3.
Light years ahead.
Yeah, iPad 3 definitely a lot quicker.
Just it's already started. Like everything is working away.
Okay, so let's look at the planet here. Maybe zoom in just a little bit. So you can see that this resolution destroys this. And Apple iPad 2 and Apple iPad 1 basically have like the same resolution. So just because we're comparing the 1 against the 3, it's really no difference. But you could really see even like this, how better this looks. So this is really noticeable. Whereas on previous videos we looked at video head-to-head and it really wasn't that noticeable.
Look how laggy this one is compared. When you rotate, it's very choppy. When you rotate this one, it's flawless. It's just smooth no matter what you do to it.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe let's look at something else that maybe is a little bit higher color. Let's look at the sun. So a little bit more vibrant here versus there.
This is more of a true yellow, and once again it is flawlessly rendering and it is flawlessly moving about. And this is more of an orange yellow, so you don't get as true of a yellow as you do.
All right, let's load up Mars, which basically has like a little bit more of a browns. Looks about the same. Let's just zoom in maybe a little bit. So we have the same sort of image right here, the Cherubic pit. I think that definitely looks a little bit better.
I would say so as well. You can just zoom in much further with, and when you zoom in, this does display the pixels much more clearly because of the resolution.
Yeah, I'm zoomed into the max, and this looks really blurry. Whereas we're zoomed into the max with this, and you can still see a little bit more details. All right, the last thing that we'll look at is, I don't know, Saturn.
Once again, you get more of the truer colors here, like the yellows, whereas it's not fully showing itself in the other one.
Yeah, so again, this is one of the apps that were converted for the Apple iPad 3, so it's more or less like optimized. So let's like exit out of here. The next thing is we'll look at Asphalt 6, which was another app upgraded.
Looks like that just started right up. Wow. Now it wants me to go over again.
So you can see that obviously this is loading up super quick. The Apple iPad 3 has a quad-core graphics processor, and it has a dual-core processor, whereas this single-core. Alright. You can really see that this looks more crisper. I don't know if we can zoom in on this. Let's just start career mode. Normal race.
Sure, just race.
So you're kind of seeing now that this looks pixelated here. That totally doesn't.
Like the best things in life, this race is simple, straightforward, fun, and smells like burning rubber. All you gotta do is place in the top Top 3.
So I've never played this game
Well, you
before.
have to tilt, so.
Yeah. So, but this is mainly like the graphics. It's really hard to tell which one looks better.
Yeah, I would just say at this point, it's not so much the resolution. I mean, it is the resolution to some degree, but you can just tell that the colors on the iPad 3 are just far more vibrant, and it's just a lot smoother.
Yeah, like maybe if you look at the water here,
Yeah.
it doesn't really look like from the apps that we looked at so far, like the Solar Walk and this app. There's small subtle differences. Like it's a little less blurry on the asphalt license plate. And like the textures on the car are a little bit better, but overall the environment textures don't really look like they've changed that much. So let's exit out of here. Twitter was another app that was optimized for the Apple iPad 3, although a lot of the same effects are found on the Apple iPad 1. So I'm going to simply launch Twitter. And this is our own Good e-reader account. You saw right away this loaded up. This is still taking a while. We are on the same exact Wi-Fi connection. But I don't really notice much of a difference between each one.
No, I would say there's really no difference at all.
So, closing thoughts. We've looked at a few of the apps that were customized for each device, and in the end, I would say that the content has not caught up. We're reviewing the iPad 3 and iPad 1 on launch day, and it really just seems that text is a crisper, a little bit better. Things load up a little bit faster on the iPad 3. You saw in Star Walk that probably, though that was the case, that showcases the most graphical elements that have changed. In order for the iPad 3 to really sort of rise above, I think it's really going to take enhanced ebooks, magazines, and games that are totally developed with new textures. A lot of the updates that we've seen so far, like in the Kindle app and things like that, the changes aren't really noticeable at all. When we looked at a previous video, when we compared video, the videos looked about the same. The iPad 3 showed a little bit more better than the iPad 1, but the differences are very negligible. I think it's really going to take a good 6 months for developers to make games exclusively for the iPad 3 with the HD graphics in order for you to really notice the differences.
That basically sums it up. I mean, this is launch day. There's just not enough out there to showcase a night and day difference between these two devices. The colors are more vibrant and everything's just a little smoother on this, but as it stands, there really isn't too much difference between the two.
I agree. So for goodereader.com, my name is Michael.
This is Peter.
And everybody take care.